Welcome to the Barbados Today Afternoon Update for Tuesday, September 29th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Two of the island's political scientists believe that the political future of the Barbados Labour Party MP for Christchurch West is at stake. This as the public squabble between the representative and her executive continues to unfold. Dr. Agard was not present for Sunday's election of a new 11-member team and has publicly stated that she had no intention of working with the members. It's a move, a noted scientist, Dr. George Bell, warns, may not be wise politically.
In constitutional terms, it is individuals who run, and therefore she sits in Parliament as an individual. Now, where the complication comes in terms of political reality is that it is unlikely that anybody in the present political culture can sustain themselves for any period of time in politics, meaning over a number of elections then, in that kind of capacity as an independent. Our independents have not been very successful, and therefore the reality, even before it became clear that independents would not be sustainable, is that party politics, the organization of politics in party terms, has taken over in terms of the behavior of the political individual.
Okay, so in other words, she can't really function without her branch.
No, she can function. She can function. That's the point that I'm making is precisely the opposite. But whether she can sustain a political future is what would be in doubt.
Meanwhile, Peter Wickham, who described the unfolding events as fascinating politics, expressed concerns about the questions being raised about Dr. Agard's performance as an MP. He says while he understands her position, she is not handling the situation well.
Dr. Agard is under pressure for not having done a good job in relation to the constituency and also the executive, as I understand it. So the relationship between her and the executive has come under some scrutiny. I don't know of any questions being raised about the management of the executive or any of the other DLP constituencies. And again, it speaks volumes about a political party that's alive and well. But even if you step back from all of that, I think that Dr. Agard has a problem. I personally don't think that her performance as an MP has been outstanding. Certainly electorally, her performances was one of the less exciting in the last election for the Barbados Labour Party. And while I don't think the possibility is there that she will lose the seat if she runs again, I can understand why the Barbados Labour Party may want to look to see whether there are other persons that they may want to fill those shoes.
In other news, more Barbadians are set to go on the breadline. Barbados Today understands that one of the country's major supermarket chains, Massi stores, is preparing to close its Sergeant's Village Christchurch outlet, commonly known as JB's. Official sources tell Barbados Today that as many as over 100 workers may be sent home from the supermarket, which has been in operation for over 25 years. However, it is unsure when the layoffs will occur. When we contacted Massi Barbados Limited's country manager, Farah Delmas, for comment, we were told that he was on holiday, while supermarket officials said they had no comment on the matter at this time. We were also unable to reach an official at the Barbados Workers' Union. Residents, especially in the north of the island, are told to expect some showers throughout the day. However, based on radar information, officials at the Met Office are not expecting the activity to be as pronounced as yesterday's.
Already our radar is showing that we are getting some showers offshore over the northwest and northern areas of the island. That is expected to continue during the afternoon. Again, for the same reason, because of the strong daytime heating. All the ingredients are there. There's strong daytime heating. The moisture is there, and the winds remain light. So the upper loft, the winds are coming now from the southeast. So that will push the activity today to the north of the island. I don't expect that activity to be as pronounced as yesterday because the surface winds have picked up a little bit. So we'll still get some shower activity, and there's the possibility of a thunderstorm or two.
That was meteorologist Cammy Burke. Regional integration is not an easy program, but it's one to fight for. So says Michael Badford, the EU ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Addressing an opening ceremony yesterday for 19 students from Antigua and Barbuda involved in the students engaging in the CARICOM Single Market and Economy through Field Promotion Program, Bradford suggested that a few changes be made to move the process forward.
A starting point to a more perfect union, if you like, is developing a greater understanding of the benefits that can be derived from regional integration. How about moving on from the student exchange missions to scale it up to a more complete program like the Erasmus, that would turn it into a Caribbean Erasmus program in a sense. Under the 11th EDF Caribbean indicative program, which covers a total envelope of 346 million euros, strengthening of universities' networks appear amongst the actions to be contemplated. Again, we need this should give you some food for thought. So let's build on this activity. Let's build on the potential of Caribbean youth. And let's build on this new millennial generation as a driver for further integration.
Former Prime Minister Owen Arthur has described as shameful the difficulty experienced by small businesses in Barbados seeking to invest in loans. He told an awards ceremony for members of the small business community that the difficulty should not exist because commercial banks have large amounts of finance available for lending.
It is one of our most shameful indices that, according to the Global Competitive Report of 2014-2015, Barbados ranks 101st out of 144 nations in respect of ease of access to loans and venture capital availability. And there is no good reason why this should be the case or why it should persist. For it has persisted despite the existence of excess liquidity to the tune of 21.4% in our banking system. That itself establishes that the country does not lack the financial resources to fund the significant expansion of the small business sector.
To sports now, disgraced former FIFA official Jack Warner has been banned from football for life by World Soccer's governing body. The former FIFA vice president and former head of CONCACAF quit football 4 years ago amid a string of corruption allegations and is facing fraud charges as part of the United States investigation. He is presently fighting extradition to the U.S. In a statement, FIFA's Ethics Committee said Warner was a key player in schemes involving the offer, acceptance, and receipt of undisclosed and illegal payments, as well as other money-making schemes. To regional news, November 4 is D-Day for the people of Belize. Prime Minister Dean Barrow put all speculation to rest yesterday as he announced the much-anticipated date. Barrow says his government has cleaned up Belo Mopan and it was time for a new Belize to emerge. He said this new Belize is one where families feel safe in their neighborhoods. There are learning and job opportunities for young people and employees pay less taxes, among other things. He offered his United Democratic Party as the best alternative and promised that his 31-member team would deliver transformative results. On the international scene, President Barack Obama chairs a UN gathering of world leaders to discuss counter-terrorism. The U.S. is seeking support for the fight against groups including the Islamic State. The meeting comes a day after Mr. Obama and the leaders of Russia, China, and Iran addressed the UN General Assembly on its 70th anniversary. Meantime, a new report suggests that the U.S. is losing the battle to stop Americans from traveling abroad to enlist in ISIS. That's according to a bipartisan congressional task force concluded in a report released today.
The intensity of the fighting in Kobani grabs attention. But behind the scenes, a huge new worry for the U.S. In the last 6 weeks, 1,000 new foreign fighters streamed into Syria and Iraq. There are now 16,000 there, nearly 3,000 are Westerners.
I suspect that the airstrikes are an additional motivating factor for some who want to go fight.
Today, the FBI director warned it's extremely difficult to identify Americans trying to join ISIS.
The challenge of the traveler phenomenon is there's no typical profile.
NATO's top commander worries the fighters will return home and launch attacks.
Lone wolves don't plug into networks, and so it's a tougher problem. And you've seen some increased security across many of the European nations.
And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Naisumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM for all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Do have a good afternoon and join us again this evening.